Being part of the escape room industry doesn't just mean owning and building your own escape rooms. It also means creating the elements that make your rooms magical and special. It's the next level of immersion you can add to your room to transport your players to a whole new world. That's where the creative mind behind Found in the Attic comes into play. Let's find out how this creator has become part of the industry right here on Find Your Escape. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Find Your Escape. I am your host, Amanda Contreras, and I am with someone who, a little bit different this week. I'm so excited to introduce you to him. He has known for making soundtracks for all of our escape rooms. Go ahead and introduce yourself from Found in the Attic.
Okay. So first of all, my name, which it's kind of intimidating when you look at it because first of all, I'm Greek and I'm living in Athens, Greece. And my name is Panayotis. That's my first name, so it's kind of like a G, but if you think of it as a Y, it's much easier to pronounce. So Panayotis is my first name. Last name is Tsakos. Is easy. But anyway, Found in the Attic is my production company / band or whatever. It's a name I've been using for a few years after some other ideas that didn't pan out very well. But anyway, I settled on that, and I think it's like a general, a little general, so it's not specific to a style of music or it's not necessarily
your
something
brand.
specific. Yes, it's my brand, and I've been using it. Yes, I've been using it for soundtracks of various kinds for theater, movies, TV commercials, and escape rooms.
Perfect. So tell me what your background is before you got into escape room. Like, what did you do? What did you grow up doing? Like, what was your career?
Musically, I started, doing, on pretty limited, hardware and software at the time, so it was the beginning of the 90s. So it was, computer music, like music through a computer was still in early stages, but it was a fun thing. So I started then, but what really, first of all, I always liked doing soundtracks. So I always listened to the music from films. I always listened to every type of music, pop, metal, whatever, but it was always like the soundtracks that was like, that sounds good, or,
Right, create the feeling, yeah.
Right. And then this sort of was a great segue into theater, which is where I started working, doing music for originally. So in theater, it's a very natural stepping stone into escape rooms. Because obviously, I think that theater is the closest form of art that you can compare to an escape room. I think like escape rooms are more closer to theater than anything else that I can think of, right, in terms of like the sets and the experience and actors and many games. So the thing with that is that what I really like doing, and which is one of the reasons why I like the atmosphere in escape rooms, is that you have to work with the concept and the script and the actors and the timing and everything, and then add to that. And this is what really helped me transition into escape rooms very easily, because it was just essentially interactive theater, the way I saw it anyway.
Okay.
Right. And so that's how I started thinking about escape rooms as a not very different thing from what I was doing at the time.
So what made you, did you contact your first escape room, or did they contact you, or how did you even get that, hey, I'm going to make a soundtrack for escape rooms, and by the way, you're my first room?
Okay, yes, that's a good question. I had a friend who was doing who was a fan, obviously, and she had done like 100 rooms or something like that. There's actually in Greece there's a very big community of escape rooms. So
awesome.
In Athens alone, I think there's around 200, 250, which is really,
wow. Wait, 250 locations or rooms? Like different.
I would say probably locations. I think the most that I've seen, like the most, separate rooms that I've seen in a location is around maybe like 5 or 6.
Wow.
So it's not
okay.
That's pretty big, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of empty space from unused, like office buildings or similar spaces like that. So that friend of mine actually found an old supermarket, which was perfect because there was so much space. It was. I'm trying to remember how big the whole space is. I think it's around, like in square feet, maybe like 5, 6 7,000, 8,000, something like that. So I mean, it's a good space and in a very central location, which is not that easy to find. So so she started doing, she was playing around with the idea of, doing an escape room, being a fan, and having also a background in theater production. So she asked for a track. And this was for a pirate theme room, which is one of my favorite themes. And so she asked for like a countdown timer track. And she says, this was it's actually three rooms part of the whole story that are interconnected. And the last game is the pirate theme. And there's at the ending when the pirate captain comes out to chase the team and all that. So she wanted maybe like 4 or 5 minute track for that part, and because she was using some stock music or things like that, which is very very common from what I found. So she wanted something custom made that was very specific to the escape room. So I started with that, and I said, you know what, this is a very nice concept. Do you want me to
Do some
try
more.
to do some more? Uh, and that was it basically. And and
That's
and
so
I ended
great.
up, it was a great experience, and I ended up doing around, I don't know, an hour and a half or more of music for those rooms. So it was more than half an hour per room of original, and including pirate songs, from scratch, like very, yeah, yeah. So a lot of stuff, not just background music, because there's so much potential, apart from, the ambient background music, which, okay, is nice, but I mean, you can do so much more. You can do so much more. And I've seen that, how passionate, owners are about their rooms and how they pay attention to every detail. And, they want experience, they want a different concept, they want something that people will remember. And I think that music is still lagging behind, set production and, the whole production of, props, the puzzles, the complexity, the actors, things like that. And I think it's easy for music to catch up because it's very natural, it's a very natural environment for music to be in. It's just something that the owners have to not understand, because I know they understand it, but have to say, oh, okay, let's go the extra mile. Let's try to make it really unique, and with together with everything else that they're doing, which is working on the sets and the experience and the concept, and trying to do something that nobody else is doing, or at least give a different experience of what everyone else is doing. And so this is something that can really add both as part of the experience, and also there's very 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 big potential in actually using it in monetizing the escape room itself. We're doing soundtracks that we can sell, things like that. So it's more than just the in-game experience.
Wow. Okay, so Pirate is your favorite. Tell me what kind of rooms that you've done.
Well, I've done different kinds. Like Alice in Wonderland is a favorite theme. I like the darker themes in general. Dark, like the zombie apocalypse, things like that. I'm not a huge fan of the classic heist bank thing. I think it's great, but I like a little twist. Maybe like cyberpunk, like a little
So,
more.
right, something that will fit the music that you can
Right,
really, yeah,
right.
okay.
Right. And even as a player, I like a little extra, maybe like a little something darker usually. Like I like occult stories.
Or what do you think makes a good soundtrack? Like if someone was not, hiring you to do a soundtrack, what are things that owners should know about making soundtracks for their rooms?
Okay, well, first of all, it's something that it's not, the way that I see it is that music is not an afterthought, and it should not be an afterthought in escape rooms. In many cases, I've seen that it is. So it's like, yeah, we have to have some music. Well, let's just put some ambient, whatever, either water dripping or machinery or things like that, which is great. It can work very well. But for example, I can give you an example of how you can take a simple concept like that and make it, a little more interesting. That the players will subconsciously, they might not say, oh, something's going on with the music, but they will understand subconsciously that, it's not just background music. So I'm working on a project right now, which is a World War II uh,
Oh, wow, fun. Okay.
concept, which where we might do a little like occult element to it, where we're still working. So it's not like strictly war themed, but it's going to be something like that. So what I've done is, for example, I've done Morse code that is saying, you can't get out, you're trapped, things like that. So that's part of the music.
Now, do you have a website that people can
Yeah,
go to that they can listen to some of the stuff that you've done already?
of course, yeah.
What is that website?
It's foundintheattic.net, one word. So
Oh, okay, Found in the Attic.
foundintheattic.net.
Perfect. And then now when they get there, can they just click on, any type of theme, and then will it give them samples?
Well, because I know I do TV, things like that, commercials. So it's a blend of some videos, for example, and then some general types of music. So there's like a sample page that if someone doesn't have enough time or doesn't want to go through a lot of different music, they can just click on epic soundtracks or or dark ambient music, things like that. So we like to get like a quick idea, and then there's a lot of music, but the idea is for someone to understand very quickly what I'm doing and how we can work together in the escape rooms. And there's I think currently there's only one full escape room soundtrack that's uploaded, because it's the most complete one with explanations as to what each song is doing. So it's like a more complete presentation. But in terms of music that's on my website, there's a lot of different styles that people can listen to and see how they can work that into their room. And also I'm working on doing templates which is something that I think will be really useful, that can be used. Yeah, so like a pirate template, like
Right. You can have this theme in your room, or can they listen to it and go, "Oh, I like the way that you mix this together. Can I have you do something custom for me?"
Exactly. So the idea is to try to, for those who want to use the music as is, there's gonna be a whole theme. So it's gonna be like a main title for, let's say a fantasy escape room or something like a wizardry, things like that. So it's gonna be like themes. There's gonna be countdown timers. There's gonna be you managed to escape theme, or you didn't manage to escape, and then some ambient music depending on different locations. And then I'm going to be doing that. I'm working on doing that with at least 10 different themes. So, like a jungle Egyptian temple kind of thing. I just wanted to make it, I just wanted to finish each template and then upload it.
And then, so for the rooms that you've done already, are they all mostly in Greece? Have you done some in the US? Have you done some all over the world?
I have in the US, I have done in China, I have in Singapore.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for you.
And I'm working, yeah, thank you. And it's something that's, obviously there's no real boundaries, with, as long,
When you're a creative, there's no boundaries, yeah.
Right. So, there's really no boundaries. So as long as the other person, what I really like is that, passionate people, which, escape room, creators and owners, they are a creative bunch. So it's not, it's not like, I'm not trying to convince, an accountant or whatever. I actually do a lot of accounting, so no stab against them. But it's like I'm not trying to, convince the head of accounting that they need a soundtrack for their thing. And it's gonna be like, no, we don't really need it. Well, you need it, but let's find a way to where it works for you, and it's something that I can do as well. So that's basically the whole approach, and everyone is very, very positive, and it's something that I'm taking it slowly just to make sure that each production is better than the previous one in terms of the experience, mostly, because we always have to tweak.
So I'm going to say your website one more time. It's foundintheattic.net, and that people can go sample your things, look at your stuff, and then you obviously have a contact page there. I'm sure that they can email you.
Contact me with any ideas, whatever they want. They might want like a small thing. They might want like a YouTube video that they want to just, they just want some original music for their promotional videos. Like anything, I've never found a project that I didn't like. So it's always, there's always potential. There's always something interesting. There's always a good way to look at things that the director or whoever produces anything maybe didn't think about. And there's always some fresh ideas that can flow into a project. And that is something that I'm always very happy to talk with the director or the creator and to figure out what works for them.
Guys, that was it. Thank you so much for watching another episode. Again, my name is Amanda Contreras, your host. I am with foundintheattic.net. Say your name one more time for me so I don't butcher it.
Okay, it's Panayotis.
Oh, Panayotis.
Yeah,
okay, perfect.
That's it.
Okay.
You have to say it one time, I think it's fine.
Panayotis. Okay, I got it. I will not. Now that I got it, I will not butcher it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want to contact him, foundintheattic.net. see all of his wonderful work, his samples. Contact him if you need him. And I think that's it. So we'll see you guys next time. Wave goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.